Hello. When you think of home security, what do you think of? False alarms, monthly contracts, door-to-door sales, summer sales? Hi, we are Genius Security, and we are redefining safety. We provide an unnoticeable, self-monitoring security system that's integrated with your smartphone for no monthly contract. We started in January of 2013 by conducting over 100 hours of ethnography and in-depth interviews in 6 different industries, looking for market pain. 2 members of our group spent several hours at a mall, observing people looking for a pain. They noticed that car alarms were going off, yet owners within the mall had no idea that their alarm had been triggered. So we made an assumption that car owners want a device that alerts them when their car alarm has been triggered. To validate this, we created a tinfoil prototype. To validate this, we conducted auto security interviews in Provo of over 41 interviews, asking how much of a pain auto security was to them. What we found was that people were far more interested in a home security solution than auto security. And because the people we were interviewing were primarily renters, they said that there was no home security solution for them. So we abandoned our unproven hypothesis and investigated the home security market. We found that it was projected to grow 70% in the next 4 years. We looked at the competitive landscape and saw that there were low-end solutions such as noisemakers, but they provided no alert to the homeowner in any event. There were also high-end solutions such as Vivint and ADT, which were feature-rich but very expensive. We made a new assumption that renters want a home security device that alerts them when an intrusion happens at an affordable cost. To validate this, that's where we made a tinfoil prototype, and we took it out to customers. We performed customer interviews, and we found out that customers were willing to give us their emails, spend an average of 10 minutes at the door with us, and had an average willingness to pay of $55 for our product. We also found that homeowners were just as interested in our product as renters. We realized that a key activity for our company would be producing a feature-rich security device that was affordable. We needed to build a minimum viable product. So we built a high-density foam prototype and did 45 more customer interviews. We gave customers 4 quarters and asked them to place those quarters on the features that mattered most to them. From that, we gained a minimum feature set, which was picture to the phone, ability to contact the local police, and no false alarms to the police. Also, the customers had an average willingness to pay of $125, a great increase. So we had a minimum viable product, which was a detector that goes in the customer's home. It detects motion, takes a picture, sends a picture over radio frequency to a base station, which forwards it through a web server and to the customer's phone, giving the customer the image of the intrusion and putting the choice in your hands whether or not to call the police, thus eliminating the call center, the monthly fees, and the false alarms to the police.
You might be asking yourselves, what stops ADT, Vivint, or other big dog security companies from coming in the space, mimicking the product, and doing the exact same thing? We feel like the answer is quite simple. The one-time purchase of a security product offers substantially lower profit margins than they otherwise could get through their contractual monthly fees, making the space both unattractive and undesirable to them. So as we moved into the design, we felt that customers were going to want a sleek design. So we went out to the market and we showed them some prototypes, and what we found is that what they really cared about was they wanted it to be discreet. They wanted it to be on the ceiling and look like a smoke detector so people wouldn't even know it was there. Surprisingly, as we looked at all of our competitors in the space, every single one of them offered a sleek design that sat on the table and plugged into the wall, the very opposite thing as what customers were saying they wanted. So we moved forward, and the biggest question we had now was, were people willing to change the battery every 6 months for a ceiling-mounted device rather than having it sit on the table and plug into the wall? So to validate this, we went door to door as well as conducted a Google consumer survey, which randomly sampled people across the nation, giving us a legitimate sample size. Of the 123 responses, we found that 75% said that they would be willing to change the batteries every 6 months rather than having a device that sat on the table and that plugged into the wall. With this guidance, we created a 3D prototype that was ceiling mounted, and we took it out to customers. And of the 45 customer interviews that we conducted, we found that average willingness to pay was $238. So we thought, well, we could build this ourselves. And so as a team, we built our first breadboard prototype. It could detect motion, it could take a picture. We had a hub that could send it onto an email. The problem was we couldn't get the two things to communicate together. And we realized that the technology was beyond us, that we needed professional help. And so we brought on an EE student. And within 2 weeks, he solved our integration problem. The device could now detect motion, take a picture, send it to the base station and onto someone's phone. The problem was it only worked on a local level. We needed more engineering help. And so we brought on three additional professional engineers in the computer science, computer engineering space. And just yesterday, what we found is that they successfully integrated our system.
So how it works, you arm the system with the red button, then you hit the green button in the middle to arm it. Then your device is detecting motion, so if anyone, you can see the device on the right, so if anyone intrudes in your home and walks across the plane, it picks up the motion, detects it, sends a signal to the base station, forwards it through the web server, and then to your phone, and you get the alert on your phone. You can see the image there. Video slowed down a little bit, presentation. So then you have the choice whether or not to call the police. Our next assumption was that we could find a manufacturer in China who'd be willing to build this product cheap. We contacted 200 manufacturers and found 22 willing to build it below our price estimate. However, they needed a high quantity. So we found a local manufacturer in Ogden who has agreed to build our product at a low batch quantity. We also assumed that $238 was our profit maximizing price because that was the average price. We did price analysis over 173 interviews, and we found out that $149 was our profit maximizing price, which puts us drastically lower than all of our competitors. Through channels, we thought e-commerce and retail would be the best way to do it. So we put our product on sale at securityhardwarestore.com. It's been on sale for 3 weeks, and we also have an agreement to enter Home Depot once we reach $500,000 in revenue. Regarding customer relationships, we found out that every single one of our manufacturers would be willing to fulfill warranty issues, but we would need to take care of customer support. In summary, we have pivoted, iterated, and validated to create a security product that will redefine safety. We are confident as we go forward pivoting with a business model canvas in hand, we will win in the market. Why? Because it's not just security, it's genius. Thank you for your time.